Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Praja Janaranjana Sodanandana Praja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Praja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Praja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ramo Ramo Hare Hare Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Shri Radhe Jaya Prabhupada 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 Shila Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Purvaji Krishnavishta Tarasata Shishi Mahashila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Narayanam Namastyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nasta Prayaso Padeshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloki Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki. Okay, so Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Congratulations. You made the right decision to attend Bhagavatam class, not because of me, but because the Bhagavatam class, as I just recited the verse, by daily hearing, then everything, almost everything within the heart is gradually purified. All the bad things are. Okay, so today we're starting a new chapter. Chapter 9, of course, Canto 5. And yeah, I'll read the summary, chapter summary in just 1 second. Okay. So this chapter is entitled The Supreme Character of Jad Bharata. In this chapter, Bharat Maharaj's attainment of the body of a Brahmana is described. In this body he remained like one dull, deaf, and dumb, so much so that when he was brought before the goddess Kali to be killed as a sacrifice, he never protested but remained silent. After having given up the body of a deer, he took birth in the womb of the youngest wife of a Brahmana. In this life, he could also remember the activities of his past life. In order to avoid in order to avoid the influence of society, he remained like a deaf and dumb person. He was very cautious, very careful not to fall down again. He did not mix with anyone who was not a devotee. This process should be adopted by every devotee, as advised by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Asat Sangatyaga, E Vaishnava Achar. One should strictly avoid the company of non-devotees, even though even though they may be family members. When Bharat Maharaj was in the body of a Brahmana, the people in the neighborhood thought of him as crazy. Dull thought of him as a crazy, dull fellow, but within he was always chanting and remembering Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although his father wanted to give him education and purify him as a Brahmana by offering him the sacred thread, he remained in such a way that his father and mother could understand that he was crazy and not interested in the reformatory method. Nonetheless, he remained fully Krishna conscious, even without undergoing such official ceremonies. Due to his silence, some people who were no better than animals began to tease him in many ways, but he tolerated this. After the death of his father and mother, his stepmother and stepbrothers began to treat him very poorly. They would give him the most condemned food, but still he did not mind. He remained completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. He was ordered by his stepbrothers and mother to guard a paddy field one night, and at that time the leader of the dacoit party took him away and tried to kill him by offering him as a sacrifice before Bhadrakali, and raised a chopper to kill him. The goddess Kali became immediately alarmed due to the mistreatment of a devotee. She came out of the deity and, taking the chopper in her own hands, killed the dacoits there. Thus, the pure devotee of the Supreme Personality Godhead can remain silent despite the mistreatment of non-devotees, rogues, and dacoits who misbehave towards a devotee and punish and rogues and dacoits who misbehave toward a devotee are punished at last by the arrangements of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's a picture. That's a picture of that scene. Goddess Kali coming out and taking what has just been called a chopper, and chopping the head of the dacoits for messing with her fellow devotee. Okay. So now the text which we will be examining today is text. So there's a Sanskrit here, kind of a dense prose Sanskrit verse, so I'll try to do my best here. Shri Sukha Uvacha Atta Kasyachid Dvija Varasyankira Pravarasya Samadama Tapaha Svadhyayadhyaya Natyaga Santosha Titiksha Prashraya Vidyanastu Yatama Atma Gyanananda Yuktasyatma Sadrisa Shrita Silachara Rupadarya Gunanava Sadharya Angaja Babuvu Madunam Cha Yavisyam Bharyayam Yastu Tatra Pumam Stam Parama Bhagavatam Rajarshi Pravaram Padatam Utsrista Mriga Sariram Charama Sarirena Vipratvam Katam Ahu. Say word for word translation. I'm sorry, synonyms. Yeah, I guess it's word for word translation. Shisuka Uvacha, we all know what that is. Sri Shukadeva Goswami continues to speak. Atha, thereafter, Kasyachit, of some, Dvija Varasya Brahmana, Ankita Avarasya, who came in the dynasty of the great saint. Hare Krishna. Okay. Sorry, having some little bit of technical difficulties here. Just give me one moment. Hare Krishna. Angira Avarasya, who came in the dynasty of the great sage Angira. Control of the mind, Dhamma, control of the senses, Tapa, practice of austerities and penances, Svadhyaya, recitation of the Vedic literatures, Adhyayana, studying, Tyaga, renunciation, Santosha, satisfaction, Titiksha, tolerance, Prashraya, very gentle, Vidya, knowledge, Anasuya, without envy, Atmagyana, Ananda, satisfied in self-realization, Yuktasya, who was qualified with Atma Sadrisa, and exactly like himself, Shruta in education, Sila in character, Achara in behavior, Rupa in beauty, Adharya in magnanimity, Guna possessing all these qualities, Navasa Uttaraya, 9 brothers born of the same womb, Angaja, sons, Pabuvuhu, were born, Mitunam, a twin brother and sister, Cha, and Yava Yaviyasayam, in the youngest, Haryayam, wife, Ya, who, 2, but, Tatra, there, Puman, a male child, Tam, him, Parama Bhagavatam, the most exalted devotee, Raja Rishi, of saintly kings, Ravaram, most honored, Padatam, Maharaj, Bharat Maharaj, Utritsya, having given up, Miga Sariram, the body of a deer, Chadama Sarirana, with the last body, Vipratvam, being a Brahmana, Atam, obtained, Ahu, they said. Wow, you just do that all day. Okay, translation. Srila Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, after giving up the body of a deer, Paramash took birth in a very pure Brahmana family. There was a Brahmana who belonged to the dynasty of Angira. He was fully qualified with Brahminical qualifications. He could control his mind and senses, and he had studied the Vedic literatures and other subsidiary literatures. He was expert in giving charity, and he was always satisfied and tolerant, very gentle, learned, and non-envious. He was self-realized and engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. He remained always in a trance. He had 9 equally qualified sons by his first wife, and by his second wife he begot twins, a brother and a sister, of which the male child was said to be the topmost devotee and foremost of saintly kings, Bharat Maharaj. This then is the story of the birth he took after giving up the body of a deer. Purport. Bharata was a great devotee, but he did not attain success in one life. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that a devotee who does not fulfill his devotional duties in one life is given the chance to be born in a fully qualified Brahmana family or a rich Kshatri or Vaishya family. Suchinam Shrimatam Gehe, Srimad Bhagavad Gita 641. Bharata was the firstborn son of Maharaj Rishabha in a rich Kshatriya family, but due to his willful negligence of his spiritual duties and his excessive attachment to an insignificant deer, he was obliged to take birth as the son of a deer. However, due to his strong position as a devotee, he was gifted with the remembrance of his past life. Being repentant, he remained in a solitary forest and always thought of Krishna. Then he was given a chance to take birth in a very good Brahmana family. Papa Ki Jai. Umagyanatimidandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadam Tikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raguna Tam Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvaduta Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakambidam Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, yeah, we are very fortunate to be able to hear such a recounting of this amazing personality. Yeah, any personality who obtains, I mean, we are all in this world generally attracted by great personalities, and many History Channel episodes and documentaries are dedicated to this purpose of hearing about great personalities. But how often is it that we're actually getting, well, how rare is it for one to be such a great personality that one will actually be able to extricate himself, herself from this material world? So, um, and through the opportunity, through hearing about those persons' lives, then we can also take inspiration. We can also know that it's possible. We can, yeah, as it said, Tad Rupa Goswami says, following in the footsteps of those saintly personalities. Utsahanishya daya tat karma fartana. Sangat yaga sato. What is it? Utsahanishya daya tat karma prava karma. Karma Pravartana. Um, Jana Sangha Chalolium. No. Sangatyaga Sato Vrite. Yeah, I believe. So that following the footsteps of the great saintly personalities. So this is why Srimad Bhagavatam is so valuable, so important, because you can open it up and come across a chapter entitled The Supreme Character of Jad Bharat. And we can actually see, yeah, so many details, right? You're seeing even here that his who his uh, who his father was, like this. Some description of his father is there. Apparently, yeah, apparently he was a twin. So we had a twin sister. Um, and yeah, very fortunate to be able. Now we're gonna be able to, in these next few weeks or so of Bhagavatam, our Bhagavatam study, be able to get insight into the great personality that is Bharat Maharaj, or I guess in this life, his name is Jad Bharat. So yeah, so in this purport here, we're hearing about this potency of devotional service, in that there's no loss or diminution. I don't know if I've ever said that word right, but you know what I mean. Of course, in the Bhagavad Gita, that's indicate explicitly stated that in this path there's no loss or diminution, and even a little progress on this path can save one from the most dangerous type of fear. So anything you do in devotional service, you get your, as we call it sometimes, our spiritual bank account is filled up. So yeah, anything we do, any little tiny bit of service or any monumental service, it all is being taken into account. And that's why we hear this nice verse in Bhagavad Gita, which Durana Yavaram Karma, Durana Yavaram Karma, Hare Krishna. Rama Rama Hare Hare. Yasudev strict. This verse is saying that one should keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. And in this way remain in Krishna consciousness. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their labor are misers. So, yeah, the potency of devotional service, not only is it keeping us busy and keeping the abominable activities away, but we are that, we're filling up our bank account. And as Arjuna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, he's saying, well, Krishna, what if one performs so much devotional service, but then, kind of like falls away from those activities? Like, are they just kind of doomed? Or are they just kind of, they invested so much in this devotional path and now they give it up, and now what? Like, yeah, someone spends many years in the brahmacharya ashram and leaves it, has no material qualifications. Is he doomed? Yes, that's a modern example, modern rendition of that question. But what does Krishna say? That, well, he says no. He says, for one who's done good, uh, yeah, there'll always be auspiciousness for one who's done good. Um, So yeah, Krishna takes Krishna takes care. Um, so yeah, this is the loving exchange between the devotee and Krishna. The, the devotee serves Krishna, and well, even though the devotee probably feels a little uncomfortable about this, but the, that Krishna also serves his devotee. Like this story of Sanat Goswami taking the uh, yeah, receiving, I believe it was foodstuffs from Radharani herself, and then yeah, Rupa Goswami. And then when Sanat Goswami heard of this, he was very displeased. He said, how can you take service from Srimati Radharani? This is not this is not very it's not very good. Um, so yeah, filling up the spiritual bank account, a very um, very important point. Um, So this other point, it's here. So in the purport, Prabhupada's talking about, yeah, I mean, it's the, you know, kind of pervading theme within this whole section, this idea of willful negligence of spiritual duties and is excessive attachment to an insignificant deer. So the six Goswamis, right? They, they kicked off Tukjavat, they kicked off the association of aristocracy is insignificant. So how much people nowadays they're striving for this association with great personalities, thinking, oh, if I can just be on the inside crowd, if I can get some influential, you know, references like this. But yeah, and that prayer to six Goswamis is described as insignificant. So so Varmash he was fell away from his spiritual duties because of this excessive attachment, and therefore he was obliged to take birth as a deer. Um, okay, so yeah, just thought it was interesting point. This idea of um, spiritual duties falling away and falling away from spiritual duties. So as we know, our constitutional position is stated in Bhagavad Gita, Mame Vamsa Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Um, Hare Krishna. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna brush up on my slope, sorry. But anyways, the verse is saying that everyone is a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mame Vamsa Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Yeah, eternally. Um, so eternally parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as parts and parcels, uh, the position is to serve, right? As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, yeah, the devote, the Krishna, yeah, we are all servants of the Lord. Nityara, uh, Swarupahoy, Nityara Krishna Das. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all of our positions is as eternal servants of the Lord. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we have that fundamental understanding. But now we come to this material world, and we are, yeah, encased in a body, and we have we have just these kind of layers of misconceptions, thinking that I'm this, I'm that. Yeah. So we're conditioned, we're in illusion, we are yeah, we're we're covered over basically. It's like it's an example. Uh, I don't know, you're playing some video game and you just like really start identifying with the video game, and then you like lose a leg in the video game, and then you think you actually lost the leg. Then you're walking around like as if you lost a leg, and everyone's like, you know, your leg is still there. So in other words, yeah, we're in this big illusion that we are this body, and that this world is a place of enjoyment. Um, so that's the what's called the yeah the conditioned state within this material world. So now the whole Vedic the all the Vedic injunctions are there teaching us, okay, now how do we get out of this kind of uh, illusion? So of course we know, yeah, many Vedic injunctions are there. Um, so many things, yeah, how one should uh, wake up and take shower and all this stuff. I believe I heard this statement Prabhupada saying that, yeah, if I were to tell you everything, you would just simply go crazy. Because even like things like which foot first touches the ground after you get out of bed, things like that. Um, but all these things, what are they all meant for? They're actually meant for our, uh, yeah, purifying this bodily conception. And we're all thinking, um, Prakriti Kriyamana. We're all thinking that we're Prakriti. Guna Karma Ni Sarvasa Ahankara Vimuradma. I thought I was going to get at least one whole sloka. Anyway, so this Ahankara, so we're yeah, this Ahankara, this false conception of the self, Vimuratma. So we're foolishly thinking this way. And so, yeah, the whole, um, so we're meant to just gradually get purified from these things. Um, okay, time's running away here. So of course, yeah. So we should remember that it's very interesting. So yeah, there's four ashramas, four occupational duties, and four orders of kind of spiritual life. But what is the goal of all of them is to, of course, end goal is Krishna consciousness, uh, attain pure love of God. But on the way, that there's some preliminary things that have to get purified. So that's why we are urged to do so many different activities. Like, yeah, every order has their certain kind of like set of responsibilities. And what is this all meant for? Getting rid of our selfish tendencies. Um, because this, yeah, very kind of base, it's very kind of what do I say? Um, yeah, it's very bad way to live is this selfish conception. Me, and mine. So the whole thing is meant, yeah, gradually to purify one from this. Um, so this is why, yeah, this is why process is there of yagya. Uh, so yagya, meaning sacrifice, is there to purify the conditioned soul of these things. Um, um, so yeah, in the stage of karma yoga, you work, yeah, do your duties, but then give the results to Krishna. Or yeah, this 12th chapter as a whole describes this whole process that okay, okay. If you can't always think of Krishna, that's the goal, obviously, and then a few, you know, notches down the ladder, it's all right, at least when you at least like do something for some good cause, okay? And um yeah, at least like I don't know, go do some charitable activity or give some time to the local whatever, I don't know, some altruistic society. Yeah, at least do that. Okay. Then, you know, then yeah, there's higher than that, like meditation. Um, then yeah, so it takes you up through this ladder and giving up one's yeah, so working, giving up one's wealth for Krishna consciousness, um, movement for Krishna is a kind of purifying activity that we can do. As Prabhupada says, yeah, so just the society, in order for the society to function, then we need so many things, capital, labor, like that. Um, so give that, yeah, if you have that, yeah, yeah, give it. Um, and of course, yeah, this might still be on the platform of karma yoga, but that's the whole idea is we're getting purified. We're purifying this tendency of thinking that everything is for my own self. And then I mean, we can take stock of our own selves. How often are we thinking that, yeah, I'm working, and the proprietor of my work is Krishna. Like I'm gonna give all the fruits of my labor to Krishna. So it's quite a high stage. Um, and then so this is yeah. So I see this is kind of purifying these very gross tendencies. Um, but we can see so Bharat Maharaj, yeah, when he was in meditation though, he was more on this jnana platform, right? So at that point he had given up all work. He was just going out and just directly engaging in spiritual activities. And um, so in other words, yeah, these kind of more gross forms of sense gratification were purified away. And now it was very much like trying to get rid of these subtle things. Um, so yeah, so there's a whole spectrum, right? And depending on where we're at different levels. Like, you know, like I said in the beginning, it's kind of yeah, following the Vedic rules and regulations. But then um, we get to the stage of, um, as Madhvacharya says, that he's saying, you know, thank you very much. You know, I'm very, you know, I offer my obeisances to the process of performing these like these rituals throughout the day and taking my holy bath. You know, very nice to know you, like that. But, you know, now he's making a point in this verse that he said that, okay, but now I'm like beyond that, because I'm just engaged directly in the process of Krishna consciousness. So yeah, one has to one yeah. So we're all in different kind of levels in that, but the point is, yeah, not getting off. So we all have certain duties for where we're at, and the point is to, yeah, stay on that path. Don't give up these duties. Like Paramaj, he obviously, yeah, he was detracted from his duty, and he got swayed by this fear, and then stopped performing the duties that he was, um, kind of, yeah, that were purifying where he was at. Um, so that's the point, is, yeah, not getting diverted in such a way that one will give up these duties. Um, and yeah, engaging in, like it said here, willful not giving up. Okay, yeah, not giving up one's spiritual duties. Because yeah, this is the nature of the material world, is the nature of Maya is to distract one, right? So many things, so many allurements out there, or even living temple life. So many things that can allure us, but one just has to, uh, try to say, stick very strongly to what one's particular duties are. Um, so as it said, yeah, in the 11th canto, the duty of the spiritual master, somehow or other, somewhere or other, engagement in Krishna consciousness. Um, yeah, so there was one purport I was looking for, but I couldn't find it. It's talking about what is it? Constitutional versus conditioned duties. So, like, in other words, our conditioned duties is like, yeah, we have a duty to, like, sleep and eat, things like that. And then constitutional is those things related to, the our spiritual nature. Um, so the duties related to our spiritual nature, yeah, direct. In other words, like direct activities that are nourishing our soul. Um, so it's very important to keep these things, like, okay, we have to do both of them. Most of us, for where we're at, we have to do our duties related to our conditioned life, but also, yeah, the duties related to our constitutional position. In other words, our spiritual duties are also, well, yeah, are, in a sense, most important. Everything is actually meant to just facilitate that. Um, so yeah, we very much shouldn't lose sight of these things, because, yeah, it can very easily, like, go to the wayside. Too busy. Um, you know, um, yeah, I got to get this done, got to get that done. You know, if I don't, go to the Sunday program, whatever, it's not that my bills aren't gonna get paid. So yeah, sometimes we may not feel those pressings of, we may not feel the immediate, uh, kind of, uh, I guess, bad effects of not engaging in our constitutional duties. Mhm. But yeah, these are very important. This idea of feeding the soul. Um, and yeah, we should ultimately try to limit. That's why Prabhupada said, yeah, our goal is actually bringing eating and sleeping to nothing and just engaging in kind of these direct activities. Um, so yeah, if whatever stage or whatever is going on with our life, yeah, where is the service? Where is the direct contact with Krishna service? Uh, Hearing and chanting, doing service in the temple, or whatever, doing service for your own deities like this. These things are, yeah, these things shouldn't be, yeah, we shouldn't lose sight of these things. So, anyways, there's nice purports talking about this. Uh, but anyways, I won't read through them. Okay, Hare Krishna. If anybody, okay. Anyway, so I'll stop there. If anyone has any questions or comments, they can feel free to do so now. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, someone changed my name. Thank you for whoever changed my name on the screen. Um, all right, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.